What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. On Facebook, I was tagged yesterday to a very, very sad story, and my heart goes out to the family of Kathleen Moore. She was dating a man by the name of Collin Scott Knapp. Now, for those of you who've heard about the story, it happened somewhere in Florida, in Pasco County, and Mr. Knapp is 30 years old. Kathleen Moore is 34 years old, okay? And since November 28th, no one has seen Kathleen, okay? It was just last month. However, after not hearing from her, but looking at the contents of a dumpster from the restaurant that he works at, there was a lot of blood identified as Moore on clothing that belonged to Mr. Knapp, and the amount of blood suggests that Moore has died. But the problem is, the body has not been located. Okay? They've sent drone teams, 20 to 30 detectives looking in multiple areas to find it. He has been arrested, and and people are out here worried about this in the community and things like that. Now, I kind of want to talk about this, especially in the northwest area of Tampa, Florida. A lot of times on Black YouTube, you will hear about a lot of black men being violent to black women, or a lot of black men not being good enough for black women, and black women should just look at other options. And almost every month you get these sorts of stories across my desk where you have an African American lady that's dealing with a Caucasian man, and not all situations end like this, but you get at least once or twice a month, sometimes even 3 in 1 week. And you're seeing that this is, you have this white guy that's with this black lady, and then something doesn't work out and the lady ends up missing or dead. So what are we really talking about here? Okay? I want people to be very, very careful. When you are dealing with any race of people, I don't care if you're a brother that is, you're a black man and you want to deal with non-black women. I talk about it in Colombia. So many brothers talk about they going to go to Colombia. You had a brother that was shot there. Many brothers was robbed there, hit with that scopolamine. And I'm leaving the major. I'm tired of dealing with black women, and you go there and get robbed. Same thing with these black women that say, you know what? I'm tired of dealing with black men. You guys are not doing this and that. Let me go over and deal with the white guy. And in her case, I'm not sure as to what happened, but it seems the guy was working at a restaurant, 30 years old. So maybe a man that was not very well educated, a man that was not very productive. All right. And, he was doing he was trying to complete a meat inventory order around the last time they were arguing. So this is not a successful Caucasian man by any means, from what I can understand. And a lot of times when certain ladies are talking about dating interracially, this is what's common. Not all the time, but you see there's a somewhat of an attraction to some of the guys from other communities that are in the working class. Nothing wrong with being in the working class, but I think the issue comes in where some sisters say, well, you black men in the lower class are this, that, and another. And then you see sometimes sisters dealing with the same kind of guys in the working class that might be white, and then it's okay. And it's just for the fact that, hey, this guy is white, and so because he's white, it's fine. It's still a better upgrade than dealing with you, the African American guy. And that's kind of how we've been taught to think about ourselves. That's kind of how we've been taught to think about the issues of the day. I'm not saying that was her particular issue, because it could not have been. Right? But I want people to understand that just because you're dealing with a white man or you're dealing with a white woman, that doesn't guarantee that they're a good person. Now, I know people are going to be like, oh, well, that's obvious. But it's obvious that, when we get around a lot of times like white people, we automatically, some of us, especially depending on the work environment, if we're talking to a black person, the white will come, we change the way we speak. You know, we change the conversation, what we're talking about. It's called code switching. So kind of indirectly, we already kind of figured that, you know, we're dealing with things when whites deal with stuff that it's better. I think a lot of times with this interracial dating piece, we don't really look at the same things we would look at in dealing with black people. Where do they come from? What was their family history? I mean, there's certain things that race just can't get around. You know, what is their academic achievements? Were they raised by a good family? Were they raised in a 2-parent home? Okay, what are their values? And a lot of times we throw that out of the window when we're considering, you know, dealing with another race of people in romantic relationships or business relationships. It just can't be like, oh, well, you know, you're a white person, so you're trustworthy. You know, oh, you're from India, so you're trustworthy, or you're from England, you're trustworthy. But it goes back to, what is their track record? You know, what kind of things are they doing? Are they progressive? Instead of just saying, well, you know what, they're white, so obviously they're going to have this figured out. Or they're white, so they have a better chance of, you know, coming from the working class to the middle class to the upper middle class. And I can tell you that's not the truth. You know, you have people in America that are poor whites, and, you know, they're struggling just like, you know, you have blacks that are struggling, and you have some that are whites that are not motivated, just like you have blacks that are not motivated. And then you have whites who are completely motivated and are doing very well, just like you have some blacks that are completely motivated and doing well. And I think that what happens is that a lot of times that when black women date interracially or get into these relationships, they themselves have not done the work. And I'm just saying, if that's the case, that, you know, she picked a guy based off the race. I'm not saying that this is the case, but I'm just saying for those women who do that, have you put the effort into your own personal life to appeal to the type of people that will have the same values as you? And let me just say, violence can happen in any class. It can happen in working class, it can happen in upper class, rich, elite, wealthy. I understand that. But I do believe there are some people who have more prone to violence than others. You know? And I believe that sometimes we can be dealing with folks and picking up or giving a pass to red flags. And I think that's what happens with some of these people who are the divestors. The divestors kind of teach that, you know, hey, I'm going to divest and go outside of here. And then there's no real comparisons about these people's past behaviors. Are they fit for relationships? Are you fit for relationships? So what happens is you get somebody that is underdeveloped in the black community, and you get somebody who could be underdeveloped in the white community, and then you get into a relationship, and then you think it's going to work out, and no, you're going to have the same problem that you had in the black community. And that's what I find out with a lot of people who are underperforming in certain areas. And I'm not talking about this. I'm going deeper into the situation, not with the couple that we're talking about right now. But I noticed that for both black men and black women, when I see them going into interracial relationships, they're typically having the same problems they have in the black American community. Which means race is not your problem solver here. Personal development and appealing to people who are quality is your personal problem. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe with the bell. Check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.